NASCAR has many different drivers in its program. Some are perennials, some are championship threats, some contend for wins, and some never get that opportunity to go for wins. Some have to scratch and claw their way to get into NASCAR, and some have missed opportunities for rides that they could have potentially been something much greater. But for Aric Almirola, it was an up and down battle to get into NASCAR. Aric Almirola in 2002 would drive in the Sunbelt Weekly Racing Series, a program where he would finish in Rookie of the Year in 2002 and would finish 2nd and 4th in points both seasons respectively. He would get his big break when he would sign with Joe Gibbs as a development driver, which wasn't an indicator of success. Jason Luffler didn't really got nowhere, and there was plenty of other drivers who got to be a development driver for Joe Gibbs Racing and never got anywhere with their careers. Almirola raced various races throughout 2005 to 2007. In 2007, he got a win in Milwaukee. Unfortunately, this was an infamous win as Denny Hamlin took over the car, and as we all know, Almirola was replaced when he was running 3rd on the track. It almost cost them a good finish and almost cost them a lap, but Hamlin quickly worked his way up to the front and would win the race. Almirola was credited the win thanks to NASCAR's rules, and so after this, Almirola needed a break to get another ride with Gibbs. He was tired of Joe Gibbs at this point, and anybody would be. It's understandable why he was frustrated, but he would get another big break in 2008. After an 2007 season that saw him go with DEI, he would drive the number 8 car, sharing it with Mark Martin in 2008. And he would do this in 2009 as well. Over the course of these 3 years, Almirola's best finish was 8th at Bristol, which was the first race of 2008 that he ran. Almirola was subpar throughout this time, and his finishes were usually in the 30s, 20s, or 10s. It didn't really seem like Almirola was going to do well. Almirola wasn't racking up top 10s or top 5s consistently. In fact, he was barely qualifying for his races. 2010 was a big question mark for Aric Almirola, but Aric Almirola was freelancing throughout the garage in NASCAR. When Casey Kane left the number 9 car, he gave him a good opportunity. Aric Almirola took over the car with not a lot of expectations coming into it, and no one really saw any speed out of him. He was running in the 20s like he usually was in 2009 and 2008, as well as 2007. But Almirola did something in Homestead that he had never done before. He finished in the top 5. Not thinking much about the 4th place finish, Almirola didn't know what 2011 was. He didn't even know if he was going to be in NASCAR. But he was on the map for Junior Motorsports. Almirola got hired to drive the number 88 car, the car that took Brad Keselowski and gave him a ride at Team Penske, which would inevitably give him a championship. Almirola's 2011 statistics are 7 top 5s, 18 top 10s, an average finish of 12.1, and would finish 4th in the point standings. It was a solid year for Aric Almirola, during the dominance of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. getting back-to-back championships. Almirola would be back to Cup in 2012, however. Almirola would go to Richard Petty Motorsports in 2012. Throughout Almirola's stay from 2012 to 2017 at RPM, Almirola's finishes were not really good. He was a solid top 25 to top 20 driver on most weekends. He would get a rain-shortened win at Daytona, but rain-shortened wins are easy to come about. Just ask Justin Haley. But one thing that Aric Almirola did during this time that not a lot of people did when they went to Richard Petty Motorsports is he was loyal. Very damn loyal. I don't know if Aric Almirola got offers or not for other teams, but if he did, man did he stay loyal with Richard Petty Motorsports. Even throughout the team downsizing, he was still there. At the end of 2017, however, Aric Almirola looked like he was going to get a big break. It was a tough year for him as he had broken his back, but when he came back, there was high expectations for 2018 to return to the 43 car. However, he wouldn't return in the way most people expected for 2018. After Danica Patrick's mediocrity, many people pointed to Bubba Wallace as a potential replacement in the 10 car. However, SHR was looking for a solid, stable driver, a driver that could deliver finishes, a driver that could get what his equipment offered, but nothing more and nothing less. Aric Almirola was a perfect suit for this, and so he would be hired to drive that car next year. After a heart-wrenching loss in the Daytona 500 where Aric Almirola may or may not have intentionally been wrecked, he would go on to win at Talladega and be the class of the field by finishing 5th in points. He got more out of the 10 car than the previous driver could in 4 years. Almirola more than did prove his worth. 2019 was a bit of a slump for Aric Almirola as he would be eliminated in the first round and would go winless, but Almirola was still an okay round of 16 to round of 12 driver. His consistency in 2020 has been unmatched, and Almirola looks on set course to make it into the round of 8 and be a potential early spoiler for the championship 4 in my opinion. Almirola has elevated himself throughout NASCAR's history, and he's proven more than not that he is deserving of a cup ride. The fact that he didn't get a competitive cup ride sooner is honestly a travesty if you ask me. However, for now, I'll leave it up to you guys. What do you think of Aric Almirola? The humble underdog from 10 years ago to now an elevated driver that's proven his worth in NASCAR's Cup Series. Can you think of any other drivers like this? Let me know in the comments if you want any other drivers for me to talk about. Anyways guys, till next time, this has been the news. I'll see ya.